Before we can talk about blockchain, we must first journey back in time. Not to the age of dinosaurs, but to a more recent era. The dawn of the digital age. In this new world of computers and networks, information was abundant. You could copy a file, a song, a picture with a simple click. The copy was perfect, indistinguishable from the original. This was a revolution. But it also created a problem. How could you create digital money if anyone could copy it endlessly? Money needs to be scarce. You can't just print more of it whenever you want, or it becomes worthless. This is the challenge that early digital pioneers faced. They dreamed of creating a purely digital form of cash, one that could be sent across the globe as easily as an email, but couldn't be counterfeited. This quest for digital scarcity was the first great hurdle. In the physical world, creating a fake dollar bill is difficult. It requires special paper, inks, printing techniques, but in the digital realm, a file is just a series of ones and zeros. Copying it is trivial. The first attempts to solve this involved a central party. Imagine a digital bank. This bank would keep a ledger, a master list of who owns what. When you wanted to send money to a friend, you would tell the bank. The bank would check that you had the funds, then update its ledger, subtracting the amount from your account and adding it to your friends. This works. It's how most digital payments operate today. But it has a weakness. You have to trust the bank completely. What if the bank makes a mistake, or gets hacked, or decides to block your transaction? The dreamers and innovators of the early internet, known as the cypherpunks, were not satisfied with this centralized solution. They envisioned a world with more individual freedom and privacy. They believed that relying on a single powerful entity for something as fundamental as money was a risky proposition. In the early 1990s, two researchers, Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornetta, were thinking about a different kind of trust problem. They wanted to find a way to timestamp digital documents. How could you prove, without a doubt, that a document existed at a certain point in time and hadn't been tampered with since? Haber and Stornetta's solution was ingenious. They proposed linking documents together in a chronological chain. Here's how it worked. You take a document, create its digital fingerprint, or hash, combine it with the hash of the previous document, then create a new hash of that combination. This creates a link, a cryptographic bond between the documents. To tamper with an old document, you would have to change its hash. But since its hash is included in the next document's hash, you would have to change that one too. And the next one, and the next one, all the way to the end of the chain. In the late 1990s, a computer scientist named Nick Szabo began to explore these ideas. He understood that a truly digital currency needed to mimic the properties of physical gold. Gold is valuable because it is scarce and costly to create. You can't just wish it into existence, you have to expend real-world resources like labor and energy to mine it from the ground. Szabo wanted to bring this concept of costliness into the digital world. He called his idea BitGold. He proposed a system where participants would use their computer's processing power to solve complex mathematical puzzles. The person who solved the puzzle first would be rewarded with a new piece of BitGold. The solution would be difficult to find but easy for others to verify. This process was called proof of work. It served two purposes. First, it provided a fair and decentralized way to create and distribute new digital tokens. Second, it made the creation of BitGold costly, like mining real gold. Another crucial figure is Hal Finney, a dedicated cypherpunk and skilled programmer. In 2004, he created a prototype based on proof of work. He called it Reusable Proofs of Work, RPOW. Finney's system made costly digital tokens transferable. The world still lacked a system combining a secure chained ledger plus a proof-of-work currency creation mechanism inside a fully decentralized network. On October 31, 2008, right in the middle of a global financial crisis, an email quietly appeared on a cryptography mailing list. The author? No one knew. Just someone using the name Satoshi Nakamoto. It announced a new paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This 9-page document wasn't just another idea tossed into the mix, it was a complete blueprint. It was like the moment when an orchestra finally comes together. Satoshi Nakamoto had taken all those scattered ideas from the past, synthesized them into a single, elegant solution. A few months later, in January 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto released the first version of the Bitcoin software and mined the very first block, the Genesis block. Embedded in this block was a headline from that day's newspaper. The Times, 03 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This wasn't just a timestamp, it was a statement. It was a commentary on the fragility of the old financial system and a declaration that a new alternative had just been born. The first person to ever receive a Bitcoin transaction was Hal Finney, who had been there from the early days, dreaming of this very moment. The digital cash puzzle was finally solved. The story of blockchain is, often simplified, focusing only on the mysterious figure of Satoshi Nakamoto, but doing that really misses the beauty of its creation. Satoshi was the conductor who brought the orchestra together, but the music itself was composed by many musicians over a long period of time. The invention of blockchain wasn't a single event, but more like a process of collaborative innovation. It was, in a way, an intellectual relay race where the baton of an idea was passed from one thinker to the next. Each person built upon the work of those who came before, adding their own unique contribution to the growing structure. It's a testament to the power of open shared knowledge. We see the contributions of David Chaum, who pioneered ideas of digital cash and anonymous credentials way back in the 1980s. We see the crucial work of Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornetta, who, in 1991, designed the first real blockchain to secure digital documents. We see the vision of Nick Szabo, who in the late 90s conceptualized BitGold and the all-important proof-of-work mechanism. These individuals, and honestly so many others in the cypherpunk community, laid every single stone in the path that led to Bitcoin. That is a legacy far greater than any single name.